za mazoko. Nano finisa munoi. Mambo anona wala bele kokoko bele kokoko. Agari adu sanwaba sanwaba. Wiljil wakekundi kodre kumwala nusasala.
Sweden, Gothenburg Film Festival, best one in the world.
We are here in Sweden for the Gothenburg International Film Festival, the biggest Scandinavian film festival. And our film is Trap-Dream. It's showcasing its world premiere here, and we are happy we are here.
Very, very important because here I've come in contact with different filmmakers from different parts of the world, and this is what intercultural relationship is all about. I'm not from Europe, I'm from Africa, but this festival gave me the opportunity to meet with other filmmakers from different parts of the world. And at this point, we are discussing about international co-production. The co-production between Nigeria and Sweden, the co-production between Nigeria and US, based on the project we have at hand. So I think it's an essential, thing for the festival to do.
I'm Felicia Fortes, and I work at the festival as an interviewer. So I make sure that the audience want to give the directors and producers questions after the movie. And about this movie, I got really I got a bad feeling in the stomach because I want to feel for the main character, but at the same time I have a hard time doing it because he treats the girl maybe in a bad way, but he loves her, but he lies to her. And so, and also being forced to sell drugs, that's bad. But at the same time, selling drugs makes other people die. So I had going back and forth like that all the time. So it was a little bit hard.
So about how many tickets? So
the whole, it's 58.
58 seats.
58 seats.
All of them sold.
Yes. And then we can also let in about 700 to the other seats.
Were you here yesterday?
No, not when the TV was here, I heard.
Oh yes.
How was it?
Well, we had interview and it's very pleasant talking
Okay.
to you.
Yeah?
And I learned it's TV4, one of the biggest in the country.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Have you seen the clip? Or?
No, we haven't.
When is it going to be shown?
No, we don't know. Yeah, they will package that later.
Okay, sounds good.
I learned for the 3 days of the screening, the whole seats were fully booked.
That's great.
So we are happy.
That's very nice.
People
Yeah.
like the film and they are responding.
Yeah, that's really good.
What about you? You've seen it?
I haven't seen it.
But you have stories about it.
Yeah.
What's the story about? You like the story?
I haven't read that much.
My name is Johan. I work for the festival with presentation of movies and taking the tickets and so. And I've been working here at the Haga Bio where the Trap-Dream has been screening 3 times, and it has been all full all times. And we have even had to put people sitting on cushions on the floor. So we reached the maximum amount of people we can have in the saloon without having problems with the fire authority. And I think it was very interesting to see the film. It was very nice to see a independent film from Africa, and also the way the story was told, I think, was very good, and a lot of people have had a lot of positive feedback on the film.
My name is Eva Isaksen and I'm a film director from Norway, Oslo. It is a very, very strong story, and I think I got and I understood all the parts of it. But of course I can see that you technically have had not so much money. I can see that, of course, in the quality of the picture, and also sometimes I maybe feel that you needed more material, of course, to have to edit.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Now, after seeing the whole movie, I think it was good storytelling. But I can agree with one moment that was inside that were a little bit confused. In the first half of the movie, I was also confused. But after I've seen the whole movie, I can see that it had to be that way. You had to tell it the story that way.
Vi gör det hemma bakom dörren med 14 minuter.
Varför soppa?
Det är en linssoppa.
Next year,
Det är det. Jag kan kolla.
produce a cheers for the success.
Bra för mannen.
And this one has preview copy on it. If you want the one with that preview, you talk to the festival. Because they are the one in charge of Swedish Scandinavian distribution. If they are right, we don't have to tamper with that.
Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm going to run and take my bike and switch.
Okay.
But I see you tonight.
Okay.
Ring nu.
Tack.
3, Joseph Ubaka, and his producer, Anthony Shobodosi Gender. Good.
Well, once again, I want to welcome you to the world premiere of Trap Dream. And we must commend the effort of Gothenburg International Film Festival, because without them, this film wouldn't have been in place. You know, and the funding match, Afrique from the Minister of Foreign Affairs in France, and Global Film Initiative, and Department Cinematography, Senegal. This film was a kind of co-production between Nigeria and Senegal. So it's a Pan-African film that you're about to watch. And the only thing I will beg you is to stay focused, because it's not a linear story. It's a story that goes front and back. It's a bit of act, not a commercial film. So for you to grab the information, you know, that's all I have to say. And it was not that big budget film, but as an independent filmmaker, we have to tell our stories by any means necessary. Thank you. I don't know if my producer have something to say.
Well, you have said it all. But all I have to add is that we are happy to be here in Sweden. We are enjoying Sweden. We are enjoying the weather. We've been around the city. We try to understand Sweden. So that by the time we pass through Sweden, Sweden will also pass through us. Thank you very much.
It's not by my choice, but Festival de Film de Gothenburg is a very big festival in the world, and I entered my film, and I was lucky that my film was among the films they selected to screen during the festival. Films from United States, from France, because I met some filmmakers too, from France, from Norway, from different parts of the world, from Asia, so it became a meeting point for the global world, to meet and connect, as before coming to the States, I was like, no, this film market. So I met some people and we had good interaction. So I think these people, the festival, the film, they are doing good work. It's really.
What you encountered when making this movie?
Well, the biggest obstacle was the finance, because money is necessary when it comes to film production. You need to hire a camera, which is quite expensive. I shot this film for a month and 3 weeks. And I spent like 4 months in the initial post-production. The funny part of it, one of my co-producers that was using in the studio woke up one morning and told me, Joseph, you have to leave my studio. I don't want to take this film, go anywhere and finish it. You have to leave my studio. But thank God that we had people who later became interested because of the subject matter, So raising the fund was the greatest obstacle. During the period of developing the story, gathering, it required fund, for me to travel all the way from Nigeria. It took me 1 week to travel by road, encountering Nigerians at different points, interviewing them, getting to Senegal. And I have to stay in Senegal to develop this story. So it was a whole lot of process, and it requires fun. But we are passionate. Like 2004, I was in Berlin, Talent Campus, and our team was, let's get passionate for cinema. So we are driven by passion, and out of passion, we are ready to do anything for cinema.
Very, very strong movement.
Thank you very much for the film. I enjoyed seeing the people and the different environments in Africa. 2 points of, in my opinion, how you could better it in the future if you wanted that. One is that the English very often just flashed so quickly you didn't have time to read it, and I'm English. So I can imagine if you're from other countries it's even harder. I think it's better to put more rows and have it on for longer.
Okay.
Because I don't know, when they spoke French, I suppose they speak very quickly, but it was just too quick. I don't know if I was about to say. Yeah. And another thing I felt is that, especially I would say the first half to 2/3 of the film, it was hard to follow it. I didn't know if it was forward or backwards or where we were. And again, I don't know if that was just me.
Yeah, no. Like I said earlier on, it's not a straightforward story.
No.
I decided to make it front and back because I did the first version. It was a straight story, so I had to, present it among my colleagues, and we had a great debate. After which I felt that it's good to, do it front and back because it's not a commercial film anyway. We are not from the mainstream. We are underground filmmakers. So, and we are the nouvelle vague. There's a new wave, So we are trying to make something different, something, we're trying to create a new step from the usual path, like what is obtainable from the country where I came from.
As the producer of the film, I want to add something to what he has said. You know, the film is not only about the young men and the young girls. It also sends a message to the government, to the African government, to the Nigerian government. The question is, why are the youths leaving our country to Europe? Somebody built Europe. Somebody made Europe attractive. In the African society, it is no longer attractive for the youth. And then the role of the government has to come into it, because the government serves everybody by creating the right environment. If it is education, the government should create the right environment for education so that everybody can have access to education. If education is expensive, then the poor people will not have access to education. And when they grow, they will try to leave the country. We want the government to understand that they have to build roads, they have to build electricity, they have to build public institutions that will solve, that will bring Africa up to the standard that the African youths will stay back. They have to create jobs. The problem in African society, that of population. The population is so high. But then, since it is their country, they should stay there. If population is the problem, then let them curtail population so that the available people can have jobs, can stay back home. So it is not only about the youths. We are saying, why are the youths behaving the way they are doing? The film is telling the story about the youths, but behind it, we are pointing at the government. Thank you.
But you don't say this in this film. You are going to say this in another film, or in the series on television. Or
Sorry, let me continue. There is always a backstory in every film, but the backstory is never present in the film. It is not left for you to pose the question, you know, because you cannot tell everything. There should be a motivation. That is the secret, that is the hidden story. Because if the society is conducive, for example, these are the Swedish youths. None of them is dreaming about leaving this country because the environment is conducive. The environment is comfortable for them. The day the environment will become uncomfortable, they will pack their bag and say, let me go to America, let me go to Africa, let me go somewhere else and discover a new life. That is what is happening. So the backstory is pointing at the government. That is what motivates the youth to leave. Because if you understand well, the guy, when he was in train, he had a voiceover. I left Nigeria because of the success story of my friends who traveled to Europe by road. And the funny part of it is this, that out of 100, 2 might just be successful. Then does it worth it to enter into such suicidal mission? Yeah, how are you?
I drive you.
Okay, you're taking us to the place?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
And it needed to be finished in a week for MTV. So that's why there's this live action in there. There wasn't enough time to do all that animation in 1 week. So it was a real quick job. We worked late nights every night putting this together. And it did pretty well. It was kind of a success. And now we're working on a book together, a Kanye West book, and I'm doing all the illustrations. So watch for that. Hopefully it'll be out in the fall. I think it'll be out in the fall. So check that out. Now, the reason why I am here is because I want to present my new film, Idiots and Angels. And we just had the Scandinavian premiere last night, and we showed it again today. And it opened in France about 2 weeks ago to really great audiences and great reviews. So let me do a drawing of the angel guy, and I will talk while I draw. Pardon my back, I apologize for that. But he's a guy who wakes up one morning with little wings growing over on his back. And he doesn't like the wings because he's an asshole guy. So he wants to get rid of the wings. So the film is basically him struggling with how to deal with these wings that are growing on his back. So he's fighting these wings, and I think I say this before all the shows, that everybody has wings on their back. We all have invisible wings on our back, and we just have to discover them and exercise them and use them. And that's what the film is about, is discovery of your own wings. There's a lot of dark and light, dark and shadow. It's a very mysterious kind of David Lynch film. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to really experiment with dark and shadow and light and kind of a rough pencil kind of film.
It's my pleasure.
How you doing?
I'm from Nigeria.
Oh, very good. You want a sketch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would like to have your contact too, because
it's on here. Although you want, I'll give you my email address.
Yeah. Because while you were doing your presentation, we were thinking about making something about Africa in the form, and if it's possible, to look out for a workshop where you come to Nigeria and
yeah. Well, check out my website. You can see a lot, but I'll give you my email address. Okay. You have a film here in the festival?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oops. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. Hi.
Did you go to the camera thing?
No, we didn't go finally because we were at Bill's workshop.
Oh, okay.
For the animation.
Oh, you went to that.
Yeah.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just saw a little bit of it, but it was very funny when he made the sound effects himself.
Exactly.
I saw that.
Hi.
Only tossing around.
Just going in to say
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes, there come yes. Yeah, not land.
Right.
Trying to land. To come down.
You stay on that side.
7 minutes, yes.
Hello. Hi. Okay.
Was it a nice place?
It was very good. I actually liked it. It is one of my first, not my first, one of my first films that I like from Africa, I have to say. Because I have been in Kenya and it's near. I have seen the movies, but it's not as good as this because it was really showing the reality of how people live and how they were thinking always in Europe, and Europe is not always that good, believe me.
I really appreciate that ambition I have, and I feel I want to explain why it is a bit difficult for me. First, I understand I know too little about these two countries. It took me some time to realize that there was opposite meanings between Nigeria and Senegal.
If you notice the character that was often using that language, he was not a good character, a Senegalese policeman. He stole drugs from, when they say the confiscated drugs are missing. He does passport racketing, and he's telling Nigerians that you people are dangerous. So it's an irony. It's an irony.
It's a case of a kettle calling pot black. a dangerous Senegalese policeman telling the people he's supplying drugs, telling the people he's supplying fake passports that you are dangerous. So how can you blend it? And of course, the father of the girl, the lead actor, was asking the daughter, a Nigerian looked for you. I heard Nigerians have bad reputation. Then the daughter told him, is it because of one bad egg that you are saying everybody is bad? So we created an irony and let the people decide that everybody is bad, not only Nigerians. So it's an art film. That's why my director said it's not a commercial film. You need to watch this film over and over and identify. And then by the time you identify, you not make the decision yourself. Nigerians, people say they are dangerous, but who is the person saying that he's dangerous? The person himself is dangerous. So everybody is dangerous.
From my own point of view, you see the film for the first time, you identify with the pictures. Second time, you begin to follow the story. The third time, you're seeing the film, you begin to analyze what really happened. That is when you begin to piece the whole sequence together. Okay, this is what led to this, and this is what led to this.